I don't know what to think. Carrie has been different to me lately. After 22 years of marriage, you can just feel it. Maybe something your spouse says, or maybe just the way they look at you. She'd been like this for a few months now. Does she have a physical problem she doesn't want to tell me about? Every time I ask her if there's a problem, she would say, "No, why do you keep asking me that? I don't have any physical problems, for heaven's sake." I thought maybe she was having an affair, but that wouldn't be like her. Surely not after 22 years of marriage. We have 3 kids. Well, at one time they were kids. Kim is 21 and married herself with 1 child. Jordan is a sophomore in college, and Julie will be graduating and then off to college herself. Maybe Carrie was going through the change I've always heard about. It was really getting to me. I started watching her closer to see if anything was different. I was just hoping I didn't just make up a bunch of stuff in my mind and then go over the edge. It's so hard to explain. I'm not a writer, so I just have a hard time finding the words. The best way to describe it is a gut feeling. Deep down in the pit of my stomach, I knew something wasn't right. Our intimate life really hadn't changed a whole lot in the last 15 years or so. We make love, whatever you want to call it. It always seemed okay. Granted, it wasn't like the first few years when all we did was make love like rabbits. That's just the way life is. Most everyone we knew seemed to have the same kind of marriage we had. So I always thought of us as the norm. We have relations about every month or 2. Once in a while, if we were in the mood, we did it once a week or more. Are we in love? I always thought we were. It wasn't something we talked about a lot. Deep down in our psyche, I believed we still cared for each other. We weren't a storybook or a fantasy. We were real people in the real world. We both worked, paid bills, and enjoyed our family. Just normal, everyday people. I noticed when she went to work that she hadn't dressed differently. Even when she went out with the girls from work, nothing seemed to change. One day, she and a fellow worker, Michelle, went shopping together. I decided to follow them even though I didn't feel right doing it. I kept my distance as they went from store to store. Nothing seemed out of place, just 2 women shopping. So I went home, wondering if it just might have been me. In the coming weeks, I listened in on phone conversations, checked emails, and just kind of watched Carrie. She still acted peculiar, but I didn't see any big differences. We did make love a little more often, but not way out of the ordinary. I was starting to feel bad checking up on her the way I was, but I really thought something was different. One Saturday when I was going to play golf, I left the house like I did on most Saturdays, but when me and my golfing buddies got to the course, it was booked solid due to tournaments. They decided to look at other courses, but I just decided to go home. Maybe I'd just take Carrie out to dinner or something because of the way I had been acting toward her. When I got home, I noticed a car in our driveway. I think it belonged to her friend Michelle, but wasn't really sure. So many cars and vans looked the same anymore. I walked in the front door and heard moaning. My worst fear crept into my mind as I approached the bedroom. There on the bed was my wife, Carrie, completely naked, with her friend Michelle's face intimately close to her. I lost control and shouted, "What is going on?" as I looked at the shocked faces of both women. Carrie looked up in total surprise and screamed, "Oh my God, Jim!" "Oh my God, oh my God." She kept repeating it. Michelle jumped up and without saying a word quickly slipped on some of her clothes and quickly left. I just stood there for a minute staring at my wife of 22 years. I didn't know what to say. She had tears coming down her cheeks and got up and put on her bathrobe. "Jim, please let me explain, please," she said. I stood there totally stunned. I looked at her and said, "You cheated on me with a woman yet?" "Please, Jim, I need to explain. It just happened. It wasn't love, it was just physical. Something different. I would never cheat on you." "What are you saying? Because it was a woman, it wasn't cheating? Just because she didn't have the anatomy to match doesn't mean you weren't cheating. You took my trust that I've always had for you and just threw it away. I thought we always respected each other, but I guess your respect for me was pretty shallow." "Jim, we need to talk. Please, you need to let me explain," she pleaded. How long has this been going on, Carrie? Let me guess. How about 4 months? Carrie started crying. I wanted to tell you, Jim. I was going to... Stop it, Carrie. For 4 months, you've been sneaking around with Michelle behind my back. Going to tell me doesn't mean anything. We have a family together, and I thought we had a loving relationship. Guess I was wrong. The love in this relationship was all one-sided. Jim, it just happened. I didn't mean for it to. One day, Michelle and I... Carrie, I can't talk to you right now. I'm too disgusted with you. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do. I'm going out for a while and try to get my thoughts together. If it was with a guy, at least I could have confronted him before I left you. For some ungodly reason, you think you having relations with another woman is all right. I'll be back in a couple of hours if I come back at all. Jim, I need to tell you. I heard her voice as I walked out and got into my car. I wasn't a drinking man, but I needed something stronger than coffee. I went over to one of the local clubs I belonged to and tried to get my thoughts together. God, I couldn't believe it. Why would she do such a thing? Where do I go from here? I know I have to listen to what she has to say, but I knew I wouldn't be the same, no matter what she said. I went home about 3 hours later. Carrie was dressed like she normally dresses and had a pot of coffee made. She asked if we could sit in the living room and she would tell me exactly what happened. I was raging mad inside. I was just hoping I would be able to listen to her, but I had my doubts. I sat down on the couch and she came to sit next to me. Please sit in the chair. At this moment, I don't want to be close to you, I said. She was crying lightly. I told her, before today, I always felt sorry and hated to see you cry. But right now, I don't care about your feelings. You hurt me terribly, and I don't know if I can ever forgive you. She began to speak. Jim, it just happened. One day when Michelle and I went shopping, we brought back our new clothes and were trying them on. Michelle kept complimenting me on my body. We went and got some wine, and I guess it lowered my inhibitions. As we were trying on clothes, Michelle touched my chest. She said they were so full and didn't sag hardly at all. I don't know why, but I let her touch them. Then she began to touch me. God, it felt incredible. Another woman's touch. So much different from yours, Jim. So not only am I a lousy lover, but Michelle is just what the doctor ordered. Much better than the old husband, I asked. Please, Jim. It wasn't like that. It's just that a woman's touch is different. Didn't you feel like you were cheating on me, Carrie? Didn't I even enter your mind? I questioned. Jim, I didn't feel I was cheating. Michelle kept telling me how men love to see two women together. She said that her husband doesn't mind at all. She has been with other women for years, Carrie replied. Do you hear yourself, Carrie? Having relations with another woman isn't cheating. In fact, I would love it, is what you're telling me. Carrie, I saw it and it made my stomach knot up. My wife betraying me for another woman. Letting her do the things you didn't want me to do. Let me ask you something. If you came home and I was letting another man touch me inappropriately, would it be a turn-on to you? Would it, Carrie? Would it be cheating or not? That's what you're telling me. That you having relations with someone other than me should be a turn-on. Well, Carrie, big news. It made me sick, and I don't know if I can live with it. Jim, I don't know what to say. In answer to your question, no. You having relations with another man would not be a turn-on, and I would lose respect for you, Carrie replied. Carrie, you disrespected me when you betrayed me with Michelle. I don't want to touch you. I've lost all the respect I ever had for you. You see, love is more than physical. It's honesty, affection, trust, loyalty, and respect. You have none of those for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm moving into the spare room. I don't want to be in the same bed as you. Jim, you can't be serious. It wasn't that big of a deal. You're willing to throw away 22 years of marriage because I was with a woman? Jim, I didn't want to cheat on you with another man. That's why I just tried something new with Michelle. Carrie, it starts with Michelle. Now you have a taste of the new life. It won't end there. If you betrayed me with Michelle, you'll betray me with someone else before long. You've just begun your new life. I'll start looking for an apartment. Please just leave me alone and stay away from me. You can explain your new lifestyle to the kids. I'm sure they'll find it interesting to know that having relations with the same gender isn't cheating. Jim, maybe it was cheating in a sense, but I didn't think of it that way. But you're going overboard. Michelle and I don't do it all the time. Maybe once every week or two. I was just trying something new. Please try and understand. I almost feel sorry for you, Carrie. A husband of 22 years doesn't mean as much to you as betraying me like this. I can't talk to you anymore. I just got up and walked away. That night in the spare bedroom, I couldn't sleep. Something was nagging at me. One sentence kept repeating in my mind. Michelle kept telling me how men love to see two women together. She said that her husband doesn't mind at all. Roger, Michelle's husband. He knew. And if he knew about my wife, what else was going on? I had been so focused on the betrayal that I hadn't considered the bigger picture. The next morning, I called in sick to work and waited for Carrie to leave for her job. Once she was gone, I went to our home office and booted up her laptop. Her password was our anniversary date, so predictable. I found what I was looking for almost immediately: text messages between Carrie and Michelle. As I scrolled through them, my blood ran cold. Roger wants to watch again Friday. Jim has golf. Same time? Can't wait to try out Roger's idea. You're sure Jim won't be home until 4? Roger says this time he gets to join in. I'm nervous but excited. They had been planning this for months, and Roger wasn't just watching, he was waiting for his chance. The betrayal was far deeper than I had imagined. If I hadn't come home early that day, who knows what would have happened. I took photos of all the evidence with my phone, then carefully put everything back as I found it. That afternoon, I visited Bob, my attorney. Jim, this is definitely grounds for divorce, Bob said after seeing the evidence. But what exactly do you want to do? I want to play the long game, I replied. I want everything I'm legally entitled to. But more importantly, I want them to feel what I'm feeling right now. Bob nodded. We can file immediately, but you should know that Michigan is a no-fault state. The infidelity won't impact the division of assets much. I'm not just talking about the divorce. I have something else in mind, I replied. Over the next 2 weeks, I pretended to be barely holding it together. I moved into the spare room but told Carrie I needed time to process everything. Meanwhile, I was setting my plan in motion. First, I hired a private investigator to document Michelle and Roger's activities. Turned out they were running quite the operation. Multiple affairs, all coordinated, all filmed without consent. The PI found evidence that Roger had been selling access to a private members-only website featuring videos of the encounters. Second, I contacted an IT specialist who helped me extract data from our home router, revealing that our home network had been accessed by unknown devices during times when Michelle was at our house, devices that matched the MAC addresses of cameras found in the PI's investigation. Third, I quietly moved half of our joint assets into a new account under my name alone, perfectly legal before divorce proceedings began, according to Bob. Fourth, I contacted HR at Carrie and Michelle's workplace. I didn't reveal the affair, but asked hypothetical questions about their policies regarding relationships between staff and filming on company property. As I suspected, both were strictly prohibited. And finally, I reached out to our children individually. I didn't want to poison them against their mother, but I needed them to understand what was happening before Carrie could spin her version of events. Dad, I don't understand, Kim said during our lunch meeting. Mom says you're just going through a rough patch. Kim, I love you, and I've always tried to protect you from ugly truths. But your mother has been unfaithful, and not just in a momentary lapse of judgment. This has been going on for months, and there are aspects to it that... that I can't even discuss. I have proof. I'm filing for divorce, and I wanted you to hear it from me first." Jordan and Julie took it as well as could be expected. None of them wanted details, which was a blessing. 3 weeks after discovering the affair, I was ready. It was a Friday night. Carrie was at a work event, which my PI confirmed was actually a meeting with Michelle and Roger at their house. I had my phone in hand, ready to deliver the first strike. At precisely 8:30 p.m., I sent simultaneous emails to Carrie, Michelle, and Roger. "I know everything. The affairs, the recordings, the website. I have evidence of it all. You have violated not just our marriage, but potentially state laws regarding recording intimate encounters without consent. Your employers have been notified of inappropriate workplace conduct. Divorce papers will be served Monday. This is not negotiable." I attached a single screenshot to each email, just enough evidence to prove I wasn't bluffing. Within minutes, my phone erupted with calls and texts from Carrie. I ignored them all. Instead, I sent one final text. "I'll be home at 10 p.m. to collect some things. Be gone by then." When I arrived home, Carrie was waiting, her face streaked with tears. "Jim, please, you don't understand," she pleaded as I walked past her to the bedroom. "I understand perfectly," I replied, pulling out a suitcase. "I've understood for weeks. While you thought I was falling apart, I was actually putting together all the pieces." "What are you talking about?" Her voice was trembling. "The videos, Carrie, the website. Did you really think I wouldn't find out that Roger was recording everything? That he was selling access to those recordings?" Her face went white. "No, that's not." "Michelle promised." "Michelle lied. Roger lied. You lied. Monday morning, you'll be served divorce papers. Monday afternoon, your boss will receive evidence of your misconduct with a co-worker on company time and property. I've already spoken to our children. They know we're divorcing, though I spared them the sordid details." "You can't do this," she whispered. "I already have. Oh, and one more thing. I've moved half of our joint assets. Perfectly legal until divorce proceedings begin. You might want to start looking for a good attorney." I zipped up my suitcase and headed for the door. "Jim, wait!" she cried out. "What about our life together? 22 years!" I turned to face her one last time. "You should have thought about that before you threw it away. Goodbye, Carrie." The aftermath was swift and comprehensive. Carrie and Michelle were placed on administrative leave pending investigation and eventually terminated. Roger, facing potential criminal charges for recording and distributing intimate content without consent, quickly offered a settlement to avoid prosecution. The divorce proceedings went smoothly. Carrie, faced with the evidence I had gathered, didn't contest anything. I received a favorable division of assets, our house, and even a portion of her retirement account. Michelle and Roger's marriage didn't survive the scandal. They sold their house and moved out of state, their reputations in tatters. As for me, the revenge brought little joy, but it did bring closure. The children, though initially shocked, eventually came to understand. They maintained relationships with both their mother and me, though things were understandably strained with Carrie. 6 months after the divorce was finalized, I received a promotion at work that required relocation to Denver. I accepted immediately, grateful for the fresh start. A year later, I was sitting at a coffee shop in downtown Denver when a woman accidentally bumped into my table, spilling her latte. "I am so sorry," she exclaimed, frantically grabbing napkins. "It's all right," I assured her. "Nothing important got wet." She looked up, and our eyes met. Her name was Rebecca, a pediatric surgeon at the local children's hospital. We talked for hours that day and many days after. I told her about my past, all of it. The betrayal, the revenge, the healing. She listened without judgment, then shared her own story of a marriage that had ended when her husband chose his career over their relationship. "We're quite the pair, aren't we?" she laughed. "Both battle-scarred but still standing." That's what matters in the end, I replied, still standing. 2 years after meeting Rebecca, we were married in a small ceremony in the mountains, with my children in attendance. As we exchanged vows, I realized something important. The best revenge wasn't the destruction I had wrought on Carrie's life. It was in finding happiness again, in proving that what she had done hadn't broken me. I still think about Carrie sometimes, wondering if she found peace after everything that happened. But those thoughts grow less frequent with each passing year. The past is the past. Rebecca is my present and future. Together, we're writing a new story. One without betrayal, without revenge, but with plenty of second chances. The long game, it turns out, wasn't about making Carrie pay. It was about reclaiming my life and finding joy again. And in that game, I won. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.